What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight... Okay, making their debut on the channel tonight, we have War of Ages. Yes, indeed, how about that? War of Ages making their debut on the channel. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to do all the clicks and the likes and the bibbidi-bibbidi bop, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from... Wow, okay, here we go. I guess we're supposed to just spell it out. JJJ Sock. Yeah, JJJ SOC. So JJJ Sock. Why not? Anyway, JJ Sock wanted to see me react to this song by War of Ages called Miles Apart. Now, have I heard this song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a minute, this sounds really familiar, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This was posted by Face Down Records, okay? And the video has 214,672 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. War of Ages, Miles Apart official video. Wah, wah, wah.
Damn it.
Whenever we see that word official, it does not matter what comes afterwards. You see the word official and you're getting it off of either the record label's official page or the band's official page. The chances and the odds of the video getting blocked are going to be slightly higher. Now, I'm not saying the video's going to be blocked for sure. All I'm saying is the odds, the chances of the video getting blocked are going to be a little bit higher. So we're going to do what we can. We're going to hope for the best, and we just gotta wait and see what happens, I guess. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
something sounds weird. Like, I've never heard the song before, so maybe this is how it actually sounds. I'm not sure, but I get the feeling YouTube, like, really compressed the hell out of this or something. This sounds really thin. Like, very high end. Like, really, someone just took the EQ and just took everything up on the high ends all the way up. It just sounds really high end and thin. Now, I don't know if that's the band's doing it. Maybe this is exactly how it sounds on the album. I don't know, but something tells me it's not. Something tells me this is YouTube's doing, and I don't know why YouTube does this, man. I don't get it. Why do they mess around? Is it just for the sake of compression? Just to shrink down the file sizes so it's more acceptable and takes up less space on their servers? I don't know, but oh man. I don't know. I just feel like I feel like there should be a fuller, thicker, richer sound. And we're getting cheated. And honest to God, I'm not blaming the band for this, but then again, I could be wrong. And maybe this is exactly how the band sounds. And if that's the case, why in the world would you do that? But I get the feeling it's not. I get the feeling that the band sounds a lot fuller than this. I don't know, man. Anyway, as far as the song goes, the play-on feels nice. Don't get me wrong. And I'm glad they're doing it. It keeps the song from sounding monotonous. It does. But I gotta be honest with you, when they go up into the double time, I mean, it's cool that they do that, but I'm not the biggest fan of the groove there. When they come back to the straight time, and the straight time they had at the beginning of the song, and they had going into the pre-chorus and the chorus, yeah, dug that feel. I dug the straight time feel. The double time feel, nah, not the biggest fan of. But I mean, I get it. I'm glad, and the funny thing is, like I said, I'm glad they do it for the sake of keeping the song from sounding monotonous. But I'm just not the biggest fan of the groove that they came up with. That straight ahead, that groove. When they were doing the straight time feel, they had much more of a laid back feel. It feels very abrupt, and to some extent, it feels a little awkward. So, anyway, let's keep going here. You see what I mean? Nice. So they went to halftime during that breakdown section. That was great. That was great. Didn't see that coming. I like the fact that they even came down into that breakdown. Everybody laid out and they had that kind of choral slash orchestral part happening, which was really nice. And then they came in full with that halftime feel. Great approach. Really great approach. As far as melodics go, and as far as like chordal flow goes, everything they're doing there sounds fine with me. I got no problem with anything they're doing instrumentally. Vocally, I'm digging it. I'm really digging the vocals. Very reminiscent of Soilwork. Getting the grit and growl and the melodic singing hybrid really well done. And even in some of the grit and growl, having the melodics not even hidden. It's not hidden at all. They're mixing grit and growl with melodics in the same voice, and the melodics are coming through clear as day with the grit and growl. It sounds really nice. I dig that. I really dig that. I don't know. And again, I don't think this is the band at all. I really don't think this is the band. I think this is YouTube. I think this is YouTube messing with the sound quality for the sake of compressing and shrinking down the file size to fit better on their server or whatnot. But man, the sound quality of this song just doesn't seem right. It doesn't fit. I don't know, man. Anyway, let's finish this out and we'll get to the review. That's so Soilwork. The vocals right there, that's so Bjorn, man. It's fantastic. Feels like they only played half the chorus. Kind of an awkward ending. I mean, it sounded good. It worked. It felt a little awkward. Yeah, I wish they had done like a full chorus like they did through the rest of the song. Interesting. Definitely interesting. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was War of Ages with Miles Apart. This was a request from JJJ Sock.
What's the matter with you?
These names, man. Whatever. Anyway, let's just get right to it. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give that an 8.1. Yep, 8.1. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, I have, to be honest with you, I only have one gripe. And the thing is, I don't really know who I should be aiming the gripe at. I have a feeling I know who I should be aiming the gripe at, and I have a feeling that has absolutely nothing to do with the band. So, the funny thing is, my one gripe about the song had absolutely no impact on the song whatsoever. Okay, so let's start at the beginning here. Songwriting. Okay, look, it's not a terribly impressive song, okay, but it does some really cool things. The play on feel that they had happening with the song, I really dug what they were doing. They had that nice straight time groove. They go into that double time groove for the purpose of the verses, and then they come back down to that straight time. They do go into a halftime feel on that breakdown. And when they did go into that breakdown, they really made that halftime feel heavy. They really made that halftime feel evident. And there was absolutely no hiding it. Which was grand. I thought that was fantastic. And what a great place to put it. What a strategic way to do it. Within that breakdown, coming off of that layout where everybody laid out. And coming back in with that halftime feel. Very strong. Very, very strong indeed. No, the songwriting, I thought they did a fine job. I wouldn't say mind-blowing by a stretch, but still a great job nonetheless. The instrumentation, everybody sounded good for the most part. We're going to get to that in a little bit. But from what I can tell, it sounds like everybody's playing their instruments well. I do have a question. I heard a lot of keyboard in this, like a ton. Do they have a dedicated keyboard player, or were they using keyboards just for the sake of the recording and just for the sake of this song? Or do they use a lot of keyboard throughout their entire album? And if that's the case, again, do they have a dedicated keyboard player who is an actual member of the band, or were they just using keyboards for the sake of recording this song or the entire album? If they're going to put keyboards in that much, that prominent in one song and not in anything else, just the one song, okay, I get it. Don't have a keyboard player. We just have keyboards very prominent for the one song. I get it. I see why. Not the biggest fan of that, but I mean, it is what it is. Now, if they have keyboards prominent like in this song on every single song on the album, and they don't have a keyboard player, that's going to lead to problems. That's going to lead to big issues down the road. People are going to be hearing these keyboards and wondering, especially if they're touring and they're playing live, and they're going to be wondering, okay, well, we hear the keyboard, but where is the keyboard? You know what I mean? That doesn't make any sense to me. So I don't know. Maybe, like I said, maybe it's just for this one song. If that's the case, okay, well then fine, it is what it is. But if there's a ton of keyboards for the entire album, that's going to be an issue. But the guitar player sounded really good. Bass sounded really good. Drums sounded really good. Vocals, I think, were the highlight for me, and if I'm being honest here. Very reminiscent of Soilwork. Very, very reminiscent of Bjorn. And I dug that. I absolutely dug that, especially in the choruses where you had the grit and growl and the melodic singing happening pretty much equally at the same time. You'd have to go looking for, listening for melodic undertones. Stuff like, no. It was right in your face along with the grit and growl. Mixed very well. And again, very reminiscent of Bjorn from Soilwork. Really nicely done. Really nicely done. I really dug the vocals on this. My biggest gripe, and like I said, this had absolutely nothing to do with the band, so this had no impact on the score whatsoever. But my biggest gripe about this was the mix. And I don't think it's the band's fault. And I don't even think it's the engineering's fault. I have a feeling what happened was this was uploaded to YouTube and YouTube compressed the hell out of it. At which point it's going to lose some of its girth, some of its richness, some of its fullness. I'm listening to this song, how the song is structured. I'm listening to the instrumentation, and all I can think of is, this sounds thin. This sounds hollow. This sounds tinny. What happened here? And I swear I do not blame the band for this at all. I have a feeling on the actual album, it sounds a lot better. I'm gonna have to go and find this song. Either on Amazon Music or Spotify or something. I'm gonna have to listen to the original recording, not what's available on YouTube, and I'm gonna compare the two. And I have a feeling I'm gonna hear a significant difference. A lot of people listen to YouTube for their music, and I mean, it's fine, it's okay, but understand, guys, that when you do that, you're gonna be subject to what YouTube puts out. So it's not always going to be the same sound quality as what you get on an actual album, like on an actual CD or an actual MP4 or MP3, sorry. Or whatever it is you're listening to, it's not going to be the same thing. There's always going to be some compression because you're uploading it to a, YouTube server, and YouTube's going to do what they're going to do. Once you upload it, you're kind of at their mercy, so. Anyway, I do not blame the band for that. I do not blame the song for that. Believe it or not, I don't even blame the engineering for that. I blame YouTube for this. So, my gripe had no impact on the score whatsoever. Just to be clear, okay. So that 8.1, they earned that score on their own. So, 8.1, I feel good with that score. It's a great score, and yeah, we're gonna leave it at that. 8.1, final score. I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.